we are going to find a literary criticism for Lord of the Flies. So I'm here at the Gretna High School website. There are two ways to access the databases that we need for this assignment. So you're going to go to Students, and click on the down arrow, and then you can go to ClassLink or Library. So first we'll do ClassLink. And here, if you already have, like you can see, I have ClassLink bookmarked. And then you're going to go to the GHS Media Resources. And it looks like that. Or you can go to the website, click on Student, go to Library, and underneath here it says Student Research Guide. And it's the same thing. So you have two choices. Doesn't matter which one you get to. Just go to this library guide. And this, you'll see that this is the website that we were just at. Here's the online catalog that you can look for books. And then here are our databases. So EBSCO and Nebraska are the same. It's just that Nebraska Access has more or different databases than we do. So Nebraska Access is free. We pay for these, right? And then Noodle Tools, Turnitin, and then my YouTube channel and my email. Please always email me for help. For literary criticisms, we are going to go to the Gale Online Resources right here. You can see it says Literature Resources. So that's the one we want. So we click on that, and it should take you directly to this page. And it says that you can just search all the databases, but that really muddies your search, so I do not recommend it. If you look through all of our databases, you'll see right here, it says Gale Literature Resource Center, and it says Full Text Criticisms, and that's what we want. There's also a literature subcollection, and there's also some criticisms there. Probably not exactly what your teacher's looking for, but if you want to do some deep dives into some character development and some criticisms, this is another place to go. This one too, this one basically is just like works and authors. You can check it out. I think everyone should just explore and see what they can find. But this is our #1 resource right here, Gale Literature Resource Center. If by chance it does ask you for a password or a barcode, I don't think it will, but if it does, it is GHSL, Gretna High School Library. So if you've used a Gale database, they all look the same. They all have featured topics here that you can kind of explore, and they all have a search bar. So if you're going to search, we're doing Lord of the Flies Literature Criticisms. I'm going to type in Lord of the Flies, and you can see it says Lord of the Flies Work Guide, Lord of the Flies Motion Picture, a couple different ones. I'm going to start here with our Lord of the Flies Work Guide and click on that, and then that's going to give us a kind of an overview of the novel. So you can kind of see primary sources when it comes to Lord of the Flies. That could be interesting. Primary sources mean they happened like at that specific time. Here's some other books. If you liked Lord of the Flies, you might be interested in. So this isn't exactly what I was looking for, so I'm going to go home and try again. So that's what happens with research, is it's not always the first spot. You might have to go next to the next spot. So Lord of the Flies. So then I'm going to click Lord of the Flies novel, because we're looking at the novel, not the motion picture. And we don't want Lord of the Fries. That's cute. We're going to do Lord of the Flies and do a search. And now we have different types of results. So you can see here's that Lord of the Flies overview that I already clicked on, but we are looking for literature criticisms, and there are 100 of them. And you can see there's lots of other information. Here's those primary sources that I was talking about. Here's some like media, pictures, videos, that kind of stuff. And you can see there's just a bunch of different literary criticisms. And you can go through this list and see if you want them. You'll see it tells you when it was written. So you have to think about the copyright date of Lord of the Flies and when these stories were told, if they are about just your novel or if they're about different novels. So you can read these little summaries right here to kind of get an idea. Right now, it is sorting them by what they think are the most relevant literature criticisms for Lord of the Flies. You can also do the newest. So then you can see what's being written recently. Like, so this one is the summer of 2024. I'm not sure if it's talking about Lord of the Flies. We're still in that results. But this is This is the newest one. Here's one talking about Lord of the Flies. Or you can do oldest, since we're thinking like this book has been around a little while. You could go to the oldest, and then you'll get some older essays that might have been happening at the time of the book. So those are ways that you can search through some of these literature criticisms. Because there's only 100, I don't know how many students your teacher has, but does your teacher want to read the same literature criticism over and over and over again? Pick something different. Kind of give your teacher a little chuckle when you write about your literature criticism that might be different from your classmates. Okay. You can also kind of look to see what types of criticisms by the titles. So this one, there's going to be a talk about females and women in the story and where are they. You can also look at the type of source it comes from. So this one is talking about comparative literature and culture. This is an English journal. This is from a university studies. So you can kind of see the different sources. Another thing you can do is go over here to subjects. So you can see these are the different subjects of the different literature criticisms. So there's 5 articles about evil within The Lord of the Flies. Symbolism, here's some different short stories, movie adaptations, science fiction, democracy. So you could choose one of these and then just look at those specific literature criticisms. So that's how you're going to kind of set yourself apart from your classmates, is by doing one of these subject searches. The other thing you can do is you can search within the different criticisms. So let's say I want to focus on the topic of greed within The Lord of the Flies. So I can just type the word greed and then hit submit. And it'll take a little while because it's searching all 100. So now I've narrowed it down to 8. And then I can look through these different essays and see if there's one that I think is interesting, right? So I'm going to read these different summaries and see if I can find something. Okay, so let's say I'm going to look at this one. So this is a critical essay. It's written by Samuel Hines in 1988, but it was originally written in 1968. So sometimes Gale will take authors will take original articles and then write about them again later. And that's a literature criticism, like criticizing the different pieces and parts of what's being said about a novel. So here you can see this article here, and I can read through. I could do a find for the word greed if I wanted. So I can search through this article and see if there's information here that I want. Okay. If I don't want it, I just hit this results back here. And I can go through and look at another one. This one was written in 1970. So that's there from the Antioch Review. Here it gives me more sources, more articles to look at. Make sure they say criticisms. Here's more subjects if I want to look at a different topic. And I can just go through. If this is an article I want, remember I can send it to my Google Drive. I can email it. If I want to cite it, here's my citation, which I can send to Noodle Tools if I want, or I can just copy and paste that. And you can see here's all the different sources it comes from. It came from the Contemporary Literary Criticism, but it was originally published in the Antioch Review, and now it's on the Gale Literature Center. So 3 different sources. That's really cool that this article has been in. All right, I can highlight and do that. I can download it, whatever works best for me in my research style. Okay, here I can make the text louder, bigger. I can listen to it. Here's those kind of shortcuts, send to Google Drive if I want, download or print. Okay. Again, remember I said that you can also search the Gale Literature subcollection. I can do Lord of the Flies. I'm going to do the novel. Here is there a novel for students, so I can click on that. And here's an article. So this is kind of like a summarizing of the author and the article. You can see over here there's lots of different content I can click on. So article contents, here's a criticism. I can click on that. It takes me down to this criticism right here. So this isn't as big as some of the other criticisms in the other database, but this would be helpful if you needed another source or if you were just looking for kind of a basic criticism. All right, again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Email me, ask your teacher, come to the library and see me. I love to help with research.